question number 1. Live This Life Studio says, I would ask Zack, what are some of the hardest parts of doing weekly episodes on building stuff besides trying to get them uploaded in time?
The hardest part of doing an episode about building stuff once a week is building stuff once a week. I mean, you know, it's funny. I've told a few prop guys who do props out here for a living that I do this show, and most of them are like, wait, you do it once a week? And then they say, that's ridiculous. I'll do props for a movie that I'll do props all week for 1 week, but then I'm done for that movie, and then I'll move on to the next project. Honestly, doing the props all the time and constantly building is probably the hardest thing.
The next question from Omega Kleb. Zack, what would you rate yourself on an awesomeness meter of 1 to 10?
6.
6.
Maybe a 7.
Now, since starting the show, do you think you've upgraded a little bit?
To
Your
7.
awesomeness has increased?
I went from 6 to 7.
I a 9.
Not. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah. Not Top says, what's one of your favorite movie effects? Either a camera effect or special effect.
Pretty much every effect they did in Scott Pilgrim. The entire time I watched that movie, I was angry because I can't do things like that yet. Or if I can, not like they can. I mean, I'd love to do things like that. They truly did something different, and that's what I admire about that.
Last question. Alex Newsent says, question for Zack. What's the hardest shoot you've worked on?
Our fan film, Fallout Nuka Break. And it wasn't hard. It wasn't like, oh, this is, I have to power through it. It was just hot. And I was in a full jumpsuit. I can remember sitting against a rock, because at the time we were filming a scene where I'm taking cover, and there's a giant silk screen, bounce board in front of me. Just the sun was so bright, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I can't complain because obviously I'm not the only one in the heat. And Aaron Giles was in full latex makeup. The last thing I was going to do was complain about the heat. But I can just remember sitting there, and I'm like, this is miserable. Why did I ever want to do this?
Cool. All right. Awesome. Viewer questions asked.